Hudson celebrates Song Song, Blue with Neil Diamond, Goldie Hawn and Kurt, Russell at Aspen, screening. 3 generations stood side by side in a snowy mountain town, not for a red carpet or a flashy premiere, but for something far more personal. Kate Hudson arrived in Aspen surrounded by her family with Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell close by, and right there with them was a music legend most people never expected to see at a small holiday screening, Neil Diamond himself. At first glance, it looked like a cozy celebrity gathering tucked away in the Colorado mountains. But this wasn't just another end-of-year movie event or a convenient holiday photo op. The energy in the room was different. This was a moment layered with history, family tradition, and a surprising emotional weight that went far beyond the screen. Because having Neil Diamond in that room didn't just elevate the night, it completely changed what the film meant. And once you understand why, the entire story behind Song Blue hits a lot deeper than anyone expected. Aspen wasn't chosen by accident. For decades, this quiet mountain town has been the place where Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell disappear with their family when the spotlight gets too loud. It's where holidays are kept small, familiar, and grounded far away from premieres, press, tours, and Hollywood expectations. That alone made this screening feel different. Instead of flashing cameras and industry chatter, the room was filled with family energy. Kate Hudson wasn't just showing a new film, she was sharing it with the people who shaped her, supported her, and watched her grow up around creativity and storytelling. Her brothers were there. Their partners were there. Generations of the Hudson Russell family sat together, experiencing the story as one. And then there was Neil Diamond, not appearing on a screen, not represented through his music alone, but physically present. His attendance quietly shifted the tone from celebratory to meaningful. This wasn't about promotion anymore. It felt like a moment of acknowledgement, a legend witnessing his own influence reflected back through someone else's journey. But the reason this mattered so much becomes clearer once you understand the unlikely story behind the film itself. The movie at the center of that night isn't a typical music, biopic, or a glossy tribute. Song Blue tells the story of 2 struggling musicians who weren't chasing fame, they were chasing survival. Mike Nayat and Claire Sardina, a married Irish couple barely getting by, found themselves drawn to Neil Diamond's music almost by accident. They didn't invent anything new. They didn't reinvent the sound. Instead, they leaned fully into it, forming a Neil Diamond tribute band in the late 80s and betting everything on a kind of music the industry had already moved past. At a time when trends were shifting fast, their decision looked risky, even pointless. But something unexpected happened. The music connected, crowds showed up. What started as a last-ditch effort slowly turned into a life-changing path forward. It's an underdog story built on persistence, belief, and finding purpose later than planned, the kind of story that hits harder the older you get. And that's where Kate Hudson's connection to the role it becomes even more surprising. What made Kate Hudson's performance so unexpected is that this music wasn't woven into her childhood the way people might assume. Growing up around Hollywood legends and classic soundtracks, Neil Diamond wasn't someone she felt deeply connected to early on. In fact, she's been open about discovering his music much later in life. That distance changed everything. Instead of leaning on nostalgia, she had to approach the role the same way her character did as someone slowly realizing the emotional power behind the songs. Each lyric, each melody became something to uncover, not something taken for granted. As filming went on, the music stopped being background noise and started becoming the heartbeat of the story. It wasn't about impersonation or tribute. It was about understanding why these songs meant so much to so many people and how they could carry someone through uncertainty. But Kate wasn't navigating that discovery alone. The people watching the film beside her brought a deeper layer to the moment. Sitting in that Aspen theater wasn't just an audience, it was a legacy. Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell have spent decades building a blended family rooted in loyalty, creativity, and showing up for each other when it matters. Aspen has always been their reset button, the place where work pauses and family comes first. Seeing them there wasn't about celebrity status. It was about support. Kate wasn't standing alone as an actress debuting a film. She was the daughter, a sister, a partner, sharing something meaningful with the people who know her best. Even her brothers, each with their own paths in the industry, were there not as critics, but as family. That kind of environment changes how a film is felt. It becomes less about reviews and box office numbers and more about connection. And in that dirty room, one person embodied that connection more than anyone else. Because Neil Diamond wasn't just watching a movie inspired by his music, he was witnessing its impact across generations. Neil Diamond's presence carried a quiet weight. After stepping back from touring, seeing him show up in person felt significant, not as a headline moment, but as a gesture. This was a man whose music had already lived 1,000 lives through radios, concerts, and memories. Now it was being retold through someone else's story. For the cast, that mattered. There's something different about performing a role inspired by real passion than sharing it with the person who sparked it all. His approval didn't need words. Just being there was enough to validate the heart of the film. His songs had crossed decades, survived changing tastes, and still managed to feel relevant. Watching them echo through a new generation of actors and a new audience made the moment feel almost circular, like the music had finally come home. But even with all that emotion, the night wasn't heavy. In fact, it sparked something unexpectedly fun that fans can't stop talking about. Hugh Jackman couldn't help himself. With the energy in the room and the music still lingering, he and Kate Hudson joked about taking their auntie screen tribute band Lightning Thunder on the road for real. It was meant as a laugh, but it landed differently than expected. Fans immediately leaned in. The chemistry felt genuine, the performances believable enough that people started wondering what a real concert might actually look like. It spoke to how convincing the story was, not just acted, but felt. That playful moment balanced out the emotion of the night. It reminded everyone that Song Blue isn't heavy or preachy. It moves fast, it has humor, and it knows when to let the music do the talking. And that's exactly why the timing of this film feels so intentional, because beneath the laughter and nostalgia, there's a message that hits right when people need it most. Right now, stories like this land differently. Audiences aren't just looking for spectacle, they're looking for something that feels real. Song Blue was sort of a way, leans into that. It's about the starting over when life doesn't when it go as planned, but holding a to out of passion when the odds say let go, and about finding a DC meaning in places you never expected. The film doesn't rush those total moments, but it doesn't drag either. It lets joy, struggle, and hope exist in the same space. You laugh, you feel the setbacks, and by the end you walk away lighter than when you sat down. That balance is what makes it stick. Releasing it during the holidays only amplifies that feeling. It becomes more than a movie. Night, it becomes a shared date experience, something families can watch together and talk about it afterward. And when you zoom out, that Aspen screening starts to feel symbolic, because in one room, across 3 generations, a simple story about music proved it still has the power to connect people in ways nothing else can. By the time the credits rolled, it was clear this night was about more than just a premiere. It was about legacy, the music that carries through time, the family that shows up no matter what, and the unexpected ways inspiration finds you. Kate, Hudson, surrounded by her loved ones and a living legend, had created a moment that was both intimate and unforgettable. Song Sung Blue isn't just a story on the screen, it's a reminder that it's never too late to discover joy, embrace your passions, or connect with the people who matter most. And as the snow fell outside Aspen, one question lingered in the hearts of everyone present. What other hidden treasures are waiting for us to find, even when we least expect them? That night in Aspen left more than memories. It left a quiet inspiration. Watching Kate, Hudson, her family, and Neil diamond together reminded everyone that music, love, and legacy aren't just about the show spotlight. They're about tourists, connection, discovery, and the moments that bring us together unexpectedly. As audiences head to theaters this holiday season, Song Sung Blue isn't just another release. It's an invitation to laugh, feel, see, and reflect, to remember that sometimes the most meaningful stories are the ones that surprise us, touch us, and remind us why we keep reaching for our dreams, no matter our age or background. And in the end, that Aspen screening wasn't just about a movie premiere. It was a celebration of life, music, and the enduring bonds that shape us all. Don't miss Song Sung Blue, hitting theaters this holiday season. It's a story about music, family, and second to see chances that will leave you inspired. If you loved this behind-the-scenes look at Kate, Hudson, Neil Diamond, and the Hudson Russell family, hit that like button, subscribe for more exclusive celebrity stories, and to turn on notifications so you never miss a moment of their up-open magic.